The World Comedy Expo is coming to Chicago. It's a brand new event coming March 25th through the 27th. We got two of the founders here, Kerry Sheehan and Saku Yanagawa. Tell us all about it. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for having us.
Kerry, let's go ahead and talk. 170 performers coming here, sketch, stand-up, and improv. Tell us a little bit about the festival.
Yeah, and I think actually we might even be up to 180 at this point. We had a couple last minute surprises, but the festival, as you mentioned, is going to be over 3 days, March 25th, 26th, and 27th. We're going to be at 4 different locations around Chicago. We're going to be in a couple venues at the Second City. We're going to be at the Annoyance, Laugh Factory, and the Den in Wicker Park. And we are going to focus on what Chicago does best, which is sketch, improv, and stand-up comedy.
Saku, let me go ahead and ask you, because you perform all across the Chicagoland area. You performed in Scotland, Rwanda, Japan. What is it about, especially the past, maybe couple of months when comedy clubs were back open again after going through this long pandemic, of making people laugh? And what's it like, pre-pandemic and now, of audiences coming to see your shows?
First of all, it's always packed right now, especially weekend, and the people enjoy themselves.
Kerry, let's talk a little bit about the performers that are coming here. Name some of the countries that people are coming from, or they're representing and coming here to Chicagoland.
Yeah, well, we have several international cities represented. We have some folks coming in from as far away as Rwanda. We have a performer from Argentina, Italy, Croatia, Poland, Mexico, Puerto Rico, and then obviously a lot of our comedians that are even coming from other U.S. cities, like Saku, were born in other countries, but have decided to either make Chicago or another U.S. city their home and their place where they are launching their comedy careers.
Saku, I want to go ahead and ask you, growing up in Japan, when did you hear about Chicago as far as that being the comedy capital of the world here? And what made you want to come here?
Actually, I watched Blues Brothers when I was 14 years old. I didn't know what it was totally, because I didn't know anything about American culture and English. But I realized, Chicago is a really big city for comedy, because I realized many people coming from Chicago became the SNL cast members, and that they have created the history of comedy in America. So I decided to move to Chicago when I was in college in Japan. I was studying theater and music, so I spent so much money for for nothing. But I decided to become a comedian when I was 21.
Kerry, I do want to talk about your time at Second City, because there's so many comedians, who would perform there or went to school there, who got, just like Saku had said, now get to see them in movies, get to see them on Saturday Night Live. What is some of the, the best experience that you had, working there and getting to see the rise of certain comedians?
Oh, wow. That's a great question. Obviously so many incredible talents have come through the doors of the Second City and other great theaters here in Chicago. I have so many wonderful experiences, but probably one of the top experiences was when Second City was celebrating their 50th anniversary. I happened to have just started there, I think a year or so prior to that, and all sorts of folks came in town to celebrate that with our Second City community here in Chicago. So there were great performances. I got to meet some, of my heroes, my comedy heroes. And it was just a really, really fun and special weekend, and certainly one that I'll never forget.
I mean, even just the two memories I have of going to a comedy club. I used to go there every single weekend to go see stand-up, and Joe Coy was one of the steady performers there. Now he's selling out the Chicago Theater. John Mulaney, I remember seeing him there, and now he's got a couple of nights at the United Center. So even with this festival, you never know who you're going to see, who's on the rise, who 5-10 years from now is going to be headlining festivals, and you can be one of those first people to say, I saw them at World Comedy Expo.
Yeah, that's what we hope. That's what we hope. I mean, some of the folks that are going to be performing at the festival have been at this for quite a while. We have some veteran performers coming in. And then, like you said, we also have a whole group of people that are on the rise. We had I think it was over 300 artists and ensembles, different ensembles, sketch and improv groups that submitted for consideration for the ensemble. So Saku and I and some of the folks on the rest of our team, you know, we had a really hard time. There was incredible talent that just came out of the woodwork that wanted to be a part of this festival, both local, national, and international. And we had to, unfortunately, we had to boil it down to the 180. But we're really excited about everyone, and we're really just excited to shine a spotlight on Chicago's comedy scene, which is just incredible. You know, albeit a little bit quiet the past few years, as the rest of the entertainment industry has also experiencing. But you know, it's time to laugh. It's time to get out. This festival is, it really will have something for everyone. And the tickets are so, you know, accessible. You know, everything is $20. We even have a few free activities that we're doing. We're doing a couple of different panels, one of which Saku's hosting. So we're just really excited to do something that just is, you know, fun and joyous and gets people out of the house.
Oh, exactly. Because I mean, that was everybody's date night was, you know, go out to dinner, go see stand up or go see an improv show. And we need those laughs. We need those laughs to come back. And this is a wonderful way to showcase our city and to see some talent from around the world. Because, you know, people may not be able to travel right now, but the talent is coming here. Saku, I do want to ask you, as far as your comedy, you performed in Scotland, Rwanda, Japan, here in the States. Do you change your jokes as you go around, or is your set pretty much standard no matter where you go, and people can find the laughter in that?
Actually, I changed my material completely, especially when I was in Rwanda. I didn't know what to say for African crowds because the culture is completely different, and I believe humor is really local. Because even in Japan, you know, my material is completely different from my English stuff. So it's not only because of language, but because of culture and, you know, like any you know, background. So actually, I got to change all of that stuff, and I kept bombing in Scotland 4 months.
Well, the Fringe Festival is one of the biggest, you know, festivals out there as well too. So that's a great platform. I'm so happy to be part of that.
I didn't bomb, but I decided to drink a Scotch whiskey. If I bomb, then I end up, you know, keep drinking great Scotch whiskey, and I was almost bankrupt. So I gotta do it again.
But you know what? That's a story you can tell. I mean, it may not have been the perfect performance there, but this is a story you can tell in your sets for years to come, and you know that paid for it right there.
I need 5 more years to write the joke about it. I still have to heal myself.
to heal yourself. Well, maybe we'll find some comedy. You can add that in March 25th through the 27th. World Comedy Expo. Kerry, Saku, thank you so much for joining me today. WorldComedyExpo.com is where you can go ahead and get those tickets.